I'm Sarah.
I'm Drew, and welcome to Let's Table It.
Today we're trying something just a little bit different. I am on Instagram. My account is called Sarah Always Loses, and I think that my kind of thing I'm known for there are stacks of 5 games, kind of based on a theme or talking about a mechanism or something like that. And while those are super fun and I love to share those lists with people, we don't always get to share more in depth about why we love those games and why we're putting them on those lists. And so this is a great opportunity for us to do that. And we love to talk about games. We're always ready to share our favorite games. And so we're going to try this out.
Sounds good.
So what's our list today?
We are doing 5 lazy summer day games. So these are easy to play, easy to pull out, set up, play, etc. Family weight, but also just kind of, relaxing, pretty to look at, lighter in that sense as well.
And yet still give the feeling of a board game.
Yes,
not just playing with a deck of cards or anything, which that can be super fun too, but this is that scratch the itch of a board game.
Yeah, definitely.
And for me, this list was really important because we are both headed back to the classroom soon. We're both teachers, and our time for gaming and our bandwidth for gaming is going to be a lot lower for probably those first 4 to 6 weeks, just getting back into the routine of everything. And we need some standbys that we can just grab off the shelf, play as a family, play as a couple, play as a solo even. And so these are some of our favorites that really accomplish that and make us feel that love of board gaming and relax a little bit when we don't have a lot of mental space and we don't have a lot of time. So here we go. Our first game is Bosa. Now, Bosa is probably the smallest box game, and it is mostly cards, even though I just said we're not having a lot of cards.
Yeah, but it's you're setting them down. You're not just holding and shedding. It's really a lot more to it.
There's still a great table presence, and I think that is really what sells us on Bosa. The colors are gorgeous. And on your turn, you are drafting different doors for these roads in Bosa, and then you lay them on your street, and then you will be able to trigger either the column or the row in which you just placed your latest card. And so it's a great engine builder, but those rounds really scale up with you. So even though you're able to do a lot more by the 3rd round, you are also able to put those resources to good use too.
Yep. And again, the look of it gives you that, Mediterranean coast vibe, very summer to me.
Yes, it gives vacation vibes too, which even though we're going back to the classroom, we still want to feel the rest of the summer too. So that is Bosa.
Okay. Our number 2 is 7 Wonders Architects. So this is one of those where you are card drafting and going through resource management to try to basically build up whatever wonder you're working on. But it's kind of fun because you are not just drafting from a center pile, you're drafting from piles on either side of you also. So you have 3 different choices, and it relates some to the people next to you because you see certain things they're working on and what you're working on. And so even though we're not really we're not big hate drafters in this family, there's the occasional grab a card to make sure that doesn't work.
Make sure somebody doesn't rush to finishing their wonder. The really great thing about 7 Wonders Architects for me is, first of all, it's a great family weight. All of our family members like this game and are able to play it independently.
And to go along with that, there is no language. So it's really good. Honestly, if you've got kids that kind of learn some of the things early on, you could, 7, 8-year-olds easy can play this. That's really nice.
And the other is ease of setup. So each wonder has its own little packet that you just choose which one you're going to go with. Take that little, insert part and set it next to you and set it up just for yours. So you don't have to shuffle through all these pieces to find the ones that you need for your part of the game. And that just takes that mental load of setting up a game off. So you just have to shuffle a few cards and you are ready to go.
Yeah. Super fast, super simple. a lot of fun.
And a lot of fun. Next up is Cities for us. Cities is probably one of the newer games for us on this list. It is another bright and colorful pick, and it's another drafting game. So each round there will be different kinds of things, kinds of tiles set out for you to draft. It might be an objective card. It might be a tile to add to your city. It might be buildings to add, or it might be landmarks. And you are able to draft one of every type of thing that round, or two, I think, if you're playing with a two-player game. But that decision space of, well, I want both of those things, but Drew probably wants some of those things too. So which one is the most important to me to make sure that I'm scoring really well by the end of the game?
Yeah, and again, it's one of those where shuffle it up, set them out, do that, quick setup, and a quick game too. None of these are long games either. So, 30, 45 minutes for 2 players is pretty good.
And it does have a little bit of variability. Some of those scoring conditions can change. Well, just the cards that you can draft, you have a little bit of agency in what you want to go for. Right. But then also there are the particular city boards that are double-sided. And so when you put those into the game, it will give you different scoring conditions for that specific game as well. And so I think there's 3 boards and they're double-sided. So 6 cities total. So that's quite a bit of replayability. And so you're going to feel like it's a different game every time.
Yep. So our number 4 is River Valley Glassworks. So this was one that I think a lot of people were really excited about and excited to get and things like this. But it's such a quick game too. It's another one of those that's pretty. It looks good on the table. The acrylic tiles and things like that are a lot of fun.
The production is really great.
It's awesome. But again, it's one of those where you are basically going through and doing a resource selection and a collection. But depending on how you go about this and how things fill up, it starts to again have some of those, well, this isn't out there, and they're going to, there's some of that of agency as to what am I going to pick and how am I going to make this work, not knowing what's coming up next necessarily.
And I think a lot of the strategy for this one is kind of on the spot, because you're not really going to know until it's your turn what's going to be available to you, because you have certain shapes that you're able to place out there, and then you select from either side of the shape that you place out. So you're not really going to know what the position is, because then when you take your choice, that tile's then going to shift to the end and everything else is going to shift behind it.
And so, what you've got is going to change constantly. So like you said, and it's another one though that, I think 8, 9, 10-year-olds easy. But it definitely has some strategy to it.
Oh, for sure. I just think that it's a good one in that you're not going to spend everybody else's turn really making this big strategy of what you're going to do on your next turn, because everything's going to have changed by the time
100%.
By the time you're coming back. So again, you're not spending a lot of mental energy there.
Agreed.
And again, the components on this one are absolutely fantastic. It does have some modules also that you can add in for a little bit of extra replayability. And I have played this one solo. So it is a fun one just to set up and try to see how you fare against this solo. And lastly, on our list today, we have Junk Drawer. Junk Drawer was a complete surprise for me. It is a polyomino game, and we aren't super huge polyomino fans. They're fine. We'll play them, but usually one isn't going to capture our hearts.
We've cycled through a few and kind of shift and move on, and we hold on to a few, but it's not one that we keep 6, 7, 8 of that type.
But for me, Junk Drawer just adds enough differences that it keeps it really interesting. So in Junk Drawer, everybody has the same space and everybody has the same pieces. So there's no really drafting of pieces. You shuffle the deck of items and then you flip the card over, and that is what you're going to place on your board. Now the tricky part is that there are different goals for each section of the board. So you have different colors in each quadrant, and each of those quadrants has a different goal. One might be to have lots of stuff in the center. One might be to have lots of open space. One might be to have hardly any open space. And so each of those sections is going to score you differently. And where you place those pieces really does matter in the long run. So even though everyone has the same stuff, everyone's placing the same pieces, you kind of develop your strategy based on how you think you can maximize.
You do, but it still has a little bit of that. You can't really strategize because you don't know what's coming next.
Exactly.
You know, depending on what gets pulled, you've got, you've got to kind of shoot from the hip still at the same time.
And the end of the game is actually just when somebody can't place anything in their drawer. And so someone really could just like race and score one quadrant really, really well, but kind of have lots of odd spaces in the other ones. And so you just don't know when the game's going to end.
Yeah.
You don't know what's coming next. All of those things make for a lot of replayability.
Yep.
And this is another one that I've soloed, and it is very easy. It's a super easy solo mode. You set up almost exactly like you would set up a multiplayer game, and it's kind of a zen, especially for those of us like me who think organizing is fun. So it's kind of fun to try to see how many things you can fit in your junk drawer.
Yeah. And it's another one, whole family plays, not a problem. For some reason they have 14 plus, and
no, we've played
8.
Hazen is 9 now, but we played with him when he was 8.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, definitely another one of those light, simple, quick, good summer. Again, just get something to the table without having to overthink.
So that was our top 5 games for lazy summer days. Whether you just got back from the pool and you want something nice and easy breezy to get to the table, or like us, you're coming back from a long day with students and you just want to unwind. These are 5 tried and true picks for us, for our family, and even a few solo options in there as well.
But if you have other suggestions, drop a comment, let us know. We're always open for games like this. This is our bread and butter. It's something we can go to easy. And again, something that looks great.
Yes, we do love a great table presence on a game as well. Probably you can see from this list of games. So we do really, really want your suggestions because like Drew said, we're always on the lookout. This is our sweet spot of gaming, especially as a family. And so we always need new suggestions. We hope you enjoyed this list. If you are interested in more game suggestions and lists like these, make sure you're subscribed to Let's Table It. If you want a preview of these lists before they go live on YouTube, you can make sure you're following Sarah Always Loses on Instagram. And until next time, we'll see you at the table.